Welcome to WNL Sports Weekly. I'm Jeremy Franklin. This week we'll speak with women's swimmer Delaney Rolfe, wrestling captain Sam Campbell, and women's basketball captain Meg Ingram. But first, a quick look back at the weekend in Washington in athletics. The women's swimming team captured its 22nd ODAC championship, winning the conference meet in Greensboro. Cammie Gardner was selected as Coach of the Year, and Caroline Hamp was named Rookie of the Year as the Generals claimed the title for the 5th straight time. Elsewhere, Xander Tallman set school records in the 400 meters and 200 meters as men's track and field competed in the Bucknell Winter Classic. Men's tennis opened up its spring season with a 5-4 win over Christopher Newport, while riding placed 6th at the Bridgewater Invitational. The basketball teams dropped ODAC road games, with the women falling to Guilford and the men being edged by Bridgewater. And baseball began the 2012 season at Averett, falling to the Cougars in both games of a doubleheader. I'm joined now by Delaney Rolfe, junior swimmer from Dallas. Delaney, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
First of all, congratulations on the ODAC title. How exciting is it for you to be part of another conference championship team?
It's really exciting. I would say especially this year. This year was probably by far the most competitive year that we've had in a while. Randolph-Macon really stepped it up this year, and they brought all they had, and so we really had to fight for that trophy this year, and it's really exciting.
I mentioned earlier the recognition for Coach Gardner and for Caroline. You were named ODAC Scholar Athlete of the Year for the second time. What does that recognition mean to you?
It means a lot. I actually really did not expect to get that award this year and was really surprised when they called my name. But it's really nice just being recognized for all the hard work that I put into the pool and academics, and it means a lot for that to be recognized.
What makes the WNL swimming team different from any other team that you've competed with?
I would say what makes a difference is how close we are. Especially this year, we kind of changed the way that we train, and in the past we've kind of split up the men's team and the women's team with training, and this year we kind of changed it to where we've trained together, and I think that really brought the team a lot closer this year and really amped up the drive. And I would say that it just made us all, just us being close was a key factor to like the competitiveness of the meet and the whole year in general.
Speaking of being competitive, WNL's had a great season overall. You played a very tough schedule, went 7-2 in dual meets. The team was nationally ranked earlier for the first time in program history. Do you feel like WNL women's swimming is starting to make its mark on the Division III landscape?
I definitely think it is. I think every year we get a stronger and stronger class of freshmen, and I know that this next upcoming year we're getting a really strong group of girls coming in. And so I think that has definitely amplified the competitiveness and the drive in our team in general, and I think that we're really going to start making a mark on Division III.
Delaney, thanks again for being here. Congratulations on the season.
Thank you.
With me now is Sam Campbell, senior wrestling captain from Winnetka, Illinois. Sam, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
This has certainly been a transitional year for WNL wrestling. A new head coach, a lot of young players on the roster. How has your role as captain been impacted by all of these changes?
Yeah, it's definitely been different than in past years with a new coaching staff and some scheduling changes. And one of the biggest differences is when the freshmen come and ask me, what's going to happen now, or what can we expect, or what do you think practice is going to be like? I'm just like them. I don't know what our new coach is necessarily planning to do all the time. So that's been one challenge. Whereas in past years, you kind of build a rhythm and have an expectation for what the coaching staff is going to do. But it's also, I think, really encouraged me to communicate with the coaches. I can kind of bring them the pulse of the team, and they can preview some things about what to expect in coming weeks. So it's definitely been different, but I think really, really positive.
Mock Convention took over the WNL campus this past week, and you were the platform chair. Tell us about your role in MockCon.
It was great. So my job in particular was to write the party platform that we were going to adopt at Mock Convention, a statement of what we think the Republican message and positions are going to be like in this upcoming election. And so it was my job to draft that and also help out the political team with some of the national aspects of the Republican primary race. But the nice part about having a written assignment as opposed to an operational role was that when the actual convention came along, my stuff had gone to print, and I got to sit back and kind of appreciate and enjoy everything. So it was a really great experience.
Getting back to wrestling, what are the team's goals for the Centennial Conference Championship next weekend?
I think the Centennial Conference, the scoring format where individual advancement scores team points is really favorable to us. We're a young team and we don't have a lot of depth at every weight, but we've got some really talented wrestlers, and I think 3 or 4 conference champions is not out of the question, and certainly plenty of other kids can place. And so if we do what we need to do, then I think we'll have a very successful Centennial Conference tournament.
What does the future hold in store for Washington and Lee wrestling?
Really good things. I've been incredibly happy with the job Coach Shearer and Coach Riggs have been doing. Everything from updating and improving our schedule to our training methods to the way they're recruiting upcoming class. It almost makes me sad, that I'm going to graduate and my time as an active member of the program will be done. But I think really, really good things are ahead.
Sam, thanks for being here. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thanks for having me.
I'm joined now by Meg Ingram, senior basketball captain from Greensboro, North Carolina. Meg, welcome back to the show.
Oh, thanks for having me, Jeremy.
Over the past 8 contests, you've averaged about 17 points and 5 assists per game. What have you done to elevate your play over the last few weeks?
I think a large part of that is attributed to our overall team offense efficiency. We're getting deeper in our offense, setting really good screens, really finding each other well. So I'm not really forcing up as many shots, and I guess when it comes down to it, I'm knocking shots down when I'm open, and I'm being more consistent from the free throw line, so that helps. But overall, we're just really getting good in our offensive sets.
You've got a big game against Lynchburg at the Warner Center on Friday. From your perspective, from a player's perspective, what's it like to face Abby Pizek, your former assistant who's now coaching her alma mater?
It's interesting. 7 of the 9 of us played under her as assistant coach here, so we all love Abby, and she's done a really great job at Lynchburg, and we're really proud of her. But it's an interesting dynamic because we definitely want to beat her, but at the same time, we really respect her as a coach and really proud of her. But that's definitely a big game for us, and we'd like to show her how far we've come, I kind of think.
WNL won the ODAC title 2 years ago. Last season, you had one of the biggest wins in tournament history against Eastern Mennonite. How confident will the Generals be when you get to Salem next week?
I think we feel pretty good. Like I said, 7 of the 9 of us were part of that championship team, and then last year the great game against EMU. I think while that was good, it showed us that we need to play 3 games, put back to back to back to really win the ODAC like we did my sophomore year. So I think we have a lot of experience, which is always good to go into that situation. The nerves will still be there, but I think we feel pretty confident and we like our chances.
In terms of what will happen on the court, why will WNL be the team that no one wants to face in the ODAC tournament?
Well, I think February is our month, is what we like to say right now, and I think we're starting to peak at the right time. We've had some good games. Randolph-Macon was a good victory. We played well against Emory and Henry, and I think everything's starting to click for us, and we're all starting to play really well together. So our chemistry is pretty strong right now, so I think it's anybody's tournament really, and we feel like we have a good shot.
Meg, thanks for being here. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, Jamie.
It's time now for a look at the upcoming weekend. The Bluegrass Mountain Conference Men's Swimming Championships are underway in Charlotte, with action continuing through Saturday. Women's basketball takes on Lynchburg on Friday evening at the Warner Center. On Saturday, women's track and field heads across town for the VMI Winter Relays. Women's tennis opens up ODAC play against Bridgewater, and the Generals will take on James Madison later in the day. Also in Lexington, wrestling competes in a dual meet against the Apprentice School. Men's lacrosse visits Christopher Newport, while the men's tennis team will travel to Johns Hopkins, and women's basketball wraps up the regular season at home against Randolph. Riding will take part in the Hollins Invitational on Saturday, with WNL then heading to the University of Virginia for the IHSA Regionals on Sunday. Also Sunday, men's basketball hits the road to face 7th-ranked Virginia Wesleyan, and women's lacrosse opens its season nearby at CNU. For WNL Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.